there's a time coming when mercy will no longer be. Right now, while you have the opportunity, while you have time to run to Jesus, I say when you grab those horns of mercy, I say give up the sin. Don't keep holding it. I say leave it alone. Because there's coming a time when mercy will no longer be offered. And when the sins that we have committed, the sins that we practice, will be put back on our own heads. And now is the time of mercy. Now is the time when he holds out his hands of mercy to his people and say, come to me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon me and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly of heart. Ye will find rest for your soul. Rest for your soul. A few years ago, before I began to preach, I was a student at college. And I remember being a student in college, and my parents started fighting one another. They started to try to get a divorce from one from the other. And I remember when they were having these issues, and I remember my mom coming to talk to me and I didn't want to hear her because she was hurting me, and I didn't want them to be around me because all I knew from life were my parents, and Adventism was my parents, and I didn't want them hurting me. So anyway, they were getting a divorce, and my sister calls me one day. And when she calls me, she says, Andre, Mom has chased Dad out of the house. I said, Mom chased Dad out of the house? So yeah, Mom chased Dad out of the house. I said, well, get Mom on the phone. So my mom got on the phone, and I'm talking to my mother, and she's saying, well, your father did all these bad things. Your father this, your father that. And I said, Mom. I said, I know what Dad did. I said, but what, is there anything that you did? Anything that you could have done? She said, well, maybe, but your dad this, your dad this. I said, Mom, can we just pray together? So I prayed with my mother. I was 18 years old. Then I prayed with my mother, and I got off the phone, and I called all around town trying to find my father. I finally found him. He was at my grandma's house. And I began to talk to him. Now you have to understand, my dad is a very smart man. He has 2 master's degrees, 2 bachelor's degrees, very intelligent man. Master's degree in divinity, master's degree in administration in English, bachelor's degree in religion. I mean, very, very, very smart man. But as I'm talking to him on the phone, it was like talking to the devil. And I'm talking to him and say, Dad, you know, this and that. And he's like, well, your mom this, your mom this, your mom this, your mom this, your mom this. I said, Dad, anything about you, anything you did? Nope, your mom this, your mom this, your mom this. But finally, I was like, Dad. I said, if God brought the family back together, would you allow God, the God of the universe, to bring the family back together? So he said, only if God does it. I said, that's all right, that's all I need to know. And I hung up the phone. Now listen to me. I got on my knees and I prayed. And I prayed. I prayed and I cried and I cried and I prayed. Next morning I got up, went to church, put my good clothes on, you know. Had a special prayer at the church. I came down to the front and I prayed. And I remember praying and crying and praying and crying, uncontrollable tears. I couldn't stop crying. And I said, God, I can't handle this. I said, you got to do one or two things for me. I said, either you got to bring my mom and dad back together, or you're going to have to give me what the Bible says is peace that passes all understanding. And as I was praying, I lie to you not, as I was on my knees, the God of the universe came down. And I remember I felt like I was going to die, but I remember being there and the hand of God touched me. The hand of God touched me. And there's this peace. Supernatural peace. I hadn't felt peace for weeks. Mom and Dad going to get a divorce, no peace. But in that moment, as I was on my knees, there was peace. Wonderful peace. The Tears on my face, I didn't dry up with my hands. A supernatural hand dried my tears. And had peace. I got up from my knees. And for the rest of the time when I was in school, everybody would say, Andre, what's going on with your parents? You seem much happier. I said, I don't know what's happening with my parents, but God has said that He's in charge. He's in control. You see, I had grabbed hold of the horns. Listen to me. I had grabbed hold of the horns of the altar. And I wasn't going to let go until the God of heaven did something for me and for my family. And I'm telling you the truth, unless we're going to grab hold of the altar, I guarantee you, if you leave this campground, if you leave this place, and you haven't grabbed hold of the altar, and you haven't pleaded with God for your eternal change, you have wasted your time. I'm saying grab hold of the altar. Grab tight, don't let go until heaven comes near. Like Jacob of old, you wrestle with God until He says, let you go. And then you say to God, I will not let you go until you bless me.